Scrawling hate in a home tonight. The Port St. Lucie victims stand up and speak out for justice. Knocked down by Hurricane Sandy, now tied up in red tape. Local residents with ties to the Northeast demand action. Catch of the day. See what 3 young men landed in Fort Pierce. And everyone can be an armchair quarterback or referee. Just ask this little girl. News Channel 5 begins in 60 seconds.
$10 never went so far at Planet Fitness. Now through January 9th, join for just $10 down and $10 a month. With tons of equipment and our judgment-free zone, Planet Fitness has everything you need. Sign up today for our huge $10 sale, now through January 9th.
At 10 a.m. Saturday, January 5th, the incredible Rooms to Go January sale begins. And for 10 days only at Rooms to Go, you'll find amazing January sale savings on every room, on hundreds of special clearance items. Get great sale prices on Ultimate TV packages, on Cindy Crawford Home. Plus, finance interest-free until January 2016, 3 years from now. Starting 10 a.m. Saturday, January 5th, only at Rooms to Go.
$10 never went so far at Planet Fitness. Now through January 9th, join for just $10 down and $10 a month. With tons of equipment and our judgment-free zone, Planet Fitness has everything you need. Sign up today for our huge $10 sale, now through January 9th.
Live, local, from WPTV. This is News Channel 5 at 11. Local coverage you can count on.
Battered by Hurricane Sandy, now bruised by political hardball.
Right now, local residents with ties to New York and New Jersey are in an uproar over delays in relief aid. News Channel 5's Dan Corcoran is here tonight with our story. Dan?
Well, as we take a live look at the nation's capital tonight, financial help for Sandy's flood victims could soon be on the way. Some people with deep connections to the communities in the storm's path are waiting more patiently for that help than others. Superstorm Sandy barreled through months ago. But in 2013, and with a new Congress in Washington, much of the New York, New Jersey coastline is still in shambles.
Where my children live was not fine.
Boynton Beach's Steve Bayer lived on Long Island for nearly 5 decades. His son and grandchildren, whose home was right in the storm's path, still have a long journey back to normal.
He had water 18 inches into his first floor.
Bayer, a Palm Beach County-based Red Cross volunteer, was sent to the front lines in his former hometown right after Sandy hit. Now, efforts of a different kind to help flood victims there.
Before the next Congress starts?
The U.S. House of Representatives is expected to consider passing a $9 billion aid package tomorrow. Too little and too late, said Treasure Coast resident turned Long Islander Beverly Rayum.
It's about time that something gets done and these politicians do something and do something now.
Via Skype, Rayum balked at a move Tuesday night by House Speaker John Boehner, allowing the House to adjourn after fiscal cliff talks, but before taking up a much broader $51 billion aid package for Sandy victims.
We had this problem with Superstorm Sandy before the fiscal cliff was even mentioned.
Frustration and also hope as more time ticks by.
We're resilient, and the people up there are resilient.
The tall task of rebuilding after the storm being watched from every corner of America. And lawmakers will consider that $9 billion in immediate assistance for flood insurance beginning tomorrow. And then they'll weigh another $51 billion in broader aid. That's on January 15th. I'm Dan Corcoran, WPTV News Channel 5.
Now, South Florida's most powerful weather radar. Live Viper 5 Max.
Getting closer to the weekend. It's a great night. We pretty much stayed rain-free, but the showers linger to the north. It's all part of a cool front that's slowly making it into South Florida the next 24 hours. It makes it in, but it kind of stalls after that. Our current temperatures are in the 70s and some 60s, back toward the west, 62, 63 now around Belglade, but still 10 degrees warmer along the coast. Patchy fog, a good bet overnight. We may see a sprinkle. Our shower chances ramp up a little tomorrow, and we'll talk about that and the weekend forecast coming up.
They have swastika all over. My kids' pictures are on the wall and everything. They spray them black.
A hate crime is rocking a retired couple and their neighborhood in Port St. Lucie tonight. Detectives look for suspects. 2 people ask for justice. News Channel 5's Angela Cruz, part of the largest news team on the Treasure Coast, live in Port St. Lucie. Angela.
Evening, I'm on McCrory Street, directly in front of the house that police say burglars vandalized in what they call a hate crime. And this is actually rocking the neighborhood and the family that it's affected. She's 67 and he's 70. Yolanda LaFleur says when she and her husband walked into their home today after running errands, they couldn't believe their eyes. They saw profane, racially charged hate messages and swastikas spray painted on the walls, warning the couple that someone was watching them. LaFleur says the burglars used her own cans of spray paint to deface the property, stole her husband's television, and trashed their bedroom.
My room, I can't go in the room now because they turn everything upside down. The clothes, the drawers, and everything is on the floor.
LaFleur is a former nurse, her husband a former businessman. The retirees have lived in this racially diverse neighborhood for 9 years.
Really, I didn't know what to think because I don't know I have any enemies here.
Port St. Lucie Police Chief John Bolduc is speaking out about what his detectives call a hate crime.
Obviously, it's very disturbing. It's extremely disturbing to the people who live here, and it's unacceptable.
LaFleur is standing strong tonight.
Maybe this is young kids that wants to play and make, scare us out.
Vowing she will stand up for justice.
I believe in God and I know there is a God and they don't shake me. No, these people didn't shake me.
Some of the messages inside this house were so offensive, we chose not to air them. Officials are saying if you know anything about this hate crime, to contact Crime Stoppers or the Port St. Lucie Police Department. We're live tonight in Port St. Lucie. Angela Cruz, WPTV News Channel 5.
The sidewalk to nowhere, as some call it, in Gifford may soon go somewhere. Indian River County officials say they've overcome setbacks that will allow them to extend and connect the sidewalk through a Gifford neighborhood. Our news partners at Scripps Treasure Coast newspapers report the county officials plan to apply for a federal grant to cover most of the remaining construction costs, estimated at about $200,000. The county's already spent $1.1 million on the sidewalk some say is the sidewalk to nowhere.
Carving out a new direction in the face of crime and badly needed change. Right now, that is the debate in Delray Beach revolving around the blueprint for a new hotel. News Channel 5's Evan Axelbank is live with the debate for us tonight. Evan?
And Shannon, this here is the list of recommendations to a developer here in Delray Beach from the Delray Beach Police Department. And these recommendations say that they want a fence built around the hotel property. They say they want an elimination of ambush sites. And they say they want all the hotel rooms, when they're unoccupied, to have their lights left on. Tonight here at City Hall, Delray Beach City Commissioners questioned whether the developer could keep the hotel safe on West Atlantic Avenue.
Douglas Roll has lived in Delray Beach his whole life. This is how he describes the area near West Atlantic Avenue and 8th, the area where Prime Realty wants to build a Fairfield Inn.
You ever see drug deals? Do you ever see fights? Do you ever see the police get called?
Well, it's normal disputes.
Just last week, there were 2 shootings at convenience stores within sight of the planned hotel. Mayor Woody McDuffie says the city needs a mid-priced hotel to lure conventions and middle-class visitors.
If we get a constituency that gets a feeling that it's not safe out here, then the hotel will suffer and not prosper and ultimately fail.
The city's Community Redevelopment Agency says the developer has promised to follow security guidelines submitted by the police department. The memo cites a high number of calls for service to the neighborhood. It calls for fences that block cars and foot traffic, for clear sight lines to eliminate, quote, ambush points, and for unoccupied rooms to have lights on and blinds open.
If they can identify another hotel that does that in the United States, I'd be interested, but I've never heard of that.
Commissioner Adam Frankel voted to approve the project, but is worried that the hotel will become a magnet for bad behavior.
Any 24-hour business right off of the interstate, that could be just an easy getaway for someone that wanted to break into cars.
But neighborhood leaders like Joycelyn Patrick are eager for the hotel, especially over the promise that 20% of jobs will be local.
There's a lot of people unemployed in my neighborhoods.
Despite recent bad memories, Patrick has deep faith that the hotel will be safe.
The recent shootings that we've had, I feel like those suspects are not from this city. The police department has done an excellent job of keeping this neighborhood safe.
And Commissioner Frankel says that the developer should even pay for a 24-hour security guard there, one who was armed, maybe even an off-duty Delray Beach police officer. To that, the developer said that they had to keep it cost-effective. City Commission did give them key approval tonight. The developer would not respond to our request for comment. We're live in Delray Beach. Evan Axelbank, WPTV News Channel 5.
2 Boca Raton parents are being charged with child neglect after their 3-year-old was found walking down a road alone last night. Deputies say Joseph and Brittany Muldrew fell into a deep sleep that was fueled by vodka and Budweiser. After this couple dozed off, their little boy escaped the home and was found wandering by neighbors. A police report indicates that the toddler was headed toward a major roadway.
Tonight, questions over whether the parents of a teenager who threw a house party where an 18-year-old was shot and killed could themselves face charges. 19-year-old Matthew Teresco has been arrested in the death of Dante Ware. Police say Teresco is a known gang member with several felonies. He was called to the party in Delray Beach to settle a dispute, according to reports. Police say when he arrived, he shot into the air, then into the crowd, killing Ware, a person he did not know. We're told the parents of the person who threw the party were out of town, but investigators are trying to determine if they knew alcohol would be available to teenagers at their home.
If you are in need of employment, 200 new jobs are opening up in Boca Raton. Infinity Sales Group, which sells Dish Network subscriptions, is holding a job fair looking for a few good men and women. The job fairs are planned from 10 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, it's 2 until 8 p.m. All this going on at the company's headquarters, which is located at 5201 Congress Avenue, again in Boca Raton. Applicants can also call the company. That number, just dial 561-665-4310.
Former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords is traveling to Newtown, Connecticut. How she'll honor the victims of the Sandy Hook massacre.
Plus, when a popular snorkeling spot damaged by Sandy is set to finally reopen.
And the bad call that even a 3-year-old could spot. See for yourself coming up.
WPTV News Channel 5 is back in 60 seconds. We are local coverage you can count on.